Good morning, and thank you for coming to listen to a speech. I chose a famous person for this speech, and the reason why I chose her was I wanted to do a type of rags to riches story about a famous person. The person that I chose is Coco Chanel, and this is a picture of her. She was born in 1883 in Saumur, France. Her given name is Gabrielle Chanel. She was famous for her timeless designs, her dresses, her little black dresses, and her trademark suits. She was born to an unmarried couple, but shortly thereafter, about a year, they were married. Her father was a small peddler, and her mother was born to a small peasant family. Her mother passed away when Chanel was about 12 years old, and then she was later abandoned by her father. She was given to an orphanage, and it was actually at that orphanage where she was taught how to sew. Growing up, she had a brief career as a singer, and that's where she earned the name Coco. She launched her first perfume and introduced a Chanel suit in the little black dress, and that was in the 1920s. Around the age of 20, she opened her first shop, and that happened to be a hat shop. She later added multiple stores. Her first design was actually a dress that was made out of a jersey. She wore that dress out, and so many people asked her how they could buy one of those that she began making them. Her designs were very simple. She didn't draw sketches. She actually would just purchase cloth and place them over mannequins, and she would cut out the cloth until she formed the silhouette that she was looking for. In 1925, she introduced the now legendary Chanel suit, which was a suit with a collarless jacket and a form-fitting skirt. At that time, for women, clothes were very confining. That's actually when they were wearing corsets. So for her to introduce a clothing line that was somewhat composed of menswear and comfort, women enjoyed purchasing that. She also introduced a little black dress at that time, and she actually took the color black from a color of mourning to actually a color of design. And this is actually a picture of the little black dress. Her first perfume, Chanel No. 5, was entered into the world. It took long years of hard work and experiments. When choosing a name, she actually had two groups of bottles that were placed in front of her. One group was numbered 1 through 5, and the second group was numbered 20 through 24. She decided to introduce her perfume to the world on May 5th. So being that it was the 5th month and the 5th day, she ended up naming the perfume Chanel No. 5, sticking with the number 5, hoping to bring her good luck. Although she never wed, she did have some long-term relationships. Those included the Duke of Westminster, a famous composer, Igor Stravinsky, and then also a person named Arthur Capel. Capel is actually the person that helped her open her first store, which was the hat store. He provided financial assistance, and he also became her partner in business. It wasn't actually until the economic depression and World War II, which actually forced her to close all of her stores that she had open at that time, and she was forced to fire all of her workers. Because of the rumors of her romantic involvement with a high-ranking German officer, she was arrested in 1944, and she was only kept for a short period of time, but then she was released. After she was released, she moved to Switzerland, and that's where she lived for almost 10 years. It wasn't until the age of 70 that she actually made a comeback into the fashion world. And then unfortunately in 1971, she passed away in her apartment in the Hotel Ritz. She never married, and one of her quotes was that, "I never wanted to weigh more heavily on a man than a bird." Hundreds crowded together at the Church of Madeleine to bid farewell to her, and many of them wore Chanel suits in honor of her. At the time of her death, it was believed that her empire was worth $160 million a year, and they found only 3 dresses in her wardrobe at the hotel actually when she passed. Now, a little more than a decade after her death, designer Karl Lagerfeld has taken over her Chanel legacy. Today, her namesake continues to thrive and is believed to generate hundreds of millions of dollars a year. And one of her quotes that I liked was, "In order to be irreplaceable, one must always be different." And this is actually the Chanel logo. Thank you for your time.